today we are continuing our series, our tutorial on a two-set problem. That is two-set problem. That is the Venn diagram, right? The Venn diagram. But before then, we were highlighting on certain keywords. But today, let me just explain it in brief. That keyword is at least and at most. At least and what? And at most. Okay, this phrase normally appears in probability questions in most cases, but it also appears here. So let me just highlight on this. If, let's say, set A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they ask you that if you are to write some numbers such that it will be at least 3, at least 3, the least is 3, so it's going to be what? 3, 4, 5, and 6, right? At least 3. Then at most 3, the highest is 3. So at most 3, that will be what? 1, 2, 3. At most 3 is what? 1, 2, 3. Then let me ask you, at least 5 will be what? At least 5, the least is 5. So that will be 5 and 6. What about at most 5? The highest is 5, so it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, at most 2 is what? At most, the highest is 2. So 1, 2. If there were to be 0, you say 0, 1, 2. Okay, at most 5 is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess I've made my point. So you have to understand that aspect. Now, without wasting time, I think we have to look at, in our previous solutions, we were able to solve about 3 problems in the Venn diagram. So today, we want to look at example 4. So that is projected in your short. It says, in a class, I'm reminding you that you have to subscribe to Calendar Man TV. Calendar Man TV, more of these updates will be coming your way. When you subscribe, automatically it will come on your phone and your television, and you begin to watch it and get more updates. That will help you. In a class, the number of students who study mathematics is 4 times the number who study both mathematics and what? And science. If 8 out of the total of 17 students in the class studies science, and each student studies at least one of the 2 subjects above, how many students study both subjects? Only mathematics. Only science. So without wasting my time, I believe we've already established the drawing of the Venn diagram. So I'm drawing the Venn diagram. Once we get the concept, some of the problems we shall speed up a little bit sometimes. So we have here, this is your Venn diagram, right? So, and he says that, let me repeat. He says that the number of students who study what? Who study mathematics is 4 times the number who study both subjects. So, in this case, the both subjects, here is what? NM, number mathematics. So, we have to know the both subjects first, because he says it's 4 times the people who study both subjects. So, both subjects region is here, right? So, if that place is X, then he says the people who study mathematics, the entire mathematics, is what? Is 4X, right? Correct. Now, let's continue. Now, still, he says if 8 out of the total of 17 students in the class study science. So, this is telling you that NU is equal to what? Is equal to what? 17. That's the total. And he says 8. So, N science is equal to 8. This is the information. So, it's very important you should be able to know how to draw the Venn diagram and locate the figures at their respective positions. If you do that, then you don't have any problem at all. Now, watch here. The whole of this circle is what? Is 4x. So here becomes 4x minus x, which invariably gives you what? 3x, right? When we come to the algebraic expression, you understand it more. If I have 4x and I subtract x from it, I get 3x. Then here becomes 8 minus x. Okay? Now, there's a phrase there. It says, if each student studies at least one of the above subjects, it means that there is nobody outside the circles. So we should calculate for x. That's our information. Now, over here, the trick is there are two. I can solve for x in two ways. I can just write 4x plus, then the moment I write 4x, I will not write anything inside this circle again. So 4x plus 8, that is outside, inside here, 8 minus x is equal to what? 17. And in solving, what is going to happen? I'm going to get, I'm going to get 4x minus x is equal to what? 17 minus 8. I hope you are right. I'm trying to rearrange them. So here it's going to be, 3x is equal to 9. Okay, so x is equal to what? 9 over 3. That gives you 3. That's one way of solving for x. Now, another person can solve it this way. Instead of writing the x, another person can also pick the circle of 8 and then add this. So that one also, so you say that, or 8 plus, once you have written 8, I will not write anything inside the circle again. So 8 plus 3x is equal to what? 17. I hope you are getting the point. As I write it, the moment you write the 8, 8 represents the whole circle. So once I write the 8, nothing inside here. That principle is very, very interesting when you come to the three-step problem. It makes the work very, very simplified. So here, let's see whether we're going to get the same thing. So we have what? 3x is equal to 17 minus 8. That will invariably give you what? 9. And then x is also equal to what? 3. So you can choose any of these methods, right? So now, we've got our x. But the question he's asking us both subjects. So how many students study both subjects? So number studying what? Studying both subjects is what? Is 3. That's the x is the 3. Then he says only one subject. So I only one what? Only one subject. And the only one subject, we have only maths is 3x. And 3x is what? That is 3 times 3. That is equal to 9. Only maths is 9. Then only science. Only science is here. That is 8 minus x, where x is 3. So that is equal to what? 5. Okay. So now that you've gotten this, we can say that only one what? Subject is what? Is 9 plus 5. That is equal to what? 14. Okay. Then only science. Only science. The only science we have even calculated it already, which is equal to what? 5. Okay. We want to look at example 5. I'm saying example 5 because we have already solved example 1, 2, 3. And today we've solved the 4th example. So this is your 5th example. In a class of 74, in your short, you can see that the ratio of the number of students, offering English language to mathematics is 4:1. If the number of students studying one subject, studying only English language, exceed the number offering only mathematics by 48, and 6 students offered both subjects, if each student studies at least one of the 2 subjects above, how many students study English, mathematics, only one subject, and then I have exactly 2 subjects. That's for your information. So over here, once again, from our information, we are saying that you have to draw your Venn diagram again. You draw your Venn diagram. And then here, what did he say? He says that there are, how many are they? So I have this and that. So let me look at the total number. The total number, he says in the class of 74. So NU is equal to what? 74. In a class of 74, the ratio of what? The number of people studying English is 4 times the number studying mathematics. So as I'm repeating, anytime it says something times something, then what we are timesing is the reference. So 4 times mathematics. So X is going to be, mathematics is going to be 4. So NM is going to be X. So that the N English, we can multiply and get what? 4X, right? That is for the English. But he's saying something interesting once again from the question. We are talking about ratio here. So if I decide to cancel it out, I'm going to get 1:4. X and cancel X, because this is the same as 1X. All right? We are talking in terms of ratios. Now, he said that if the number of students studying only English language exceeds the number offering only mathematics by 48, and 6 students offer both subjects. So over here is your 6. Okay? The question is a little bit tricky, so you have to be very careful. Then here is what? 4x minus 6, because the whole circle here is 4x. So if here is 6, then here becomes 4x minus 6. What about here? Here becomes what? X minus 6, as usual. And I think once again, here, everybody is at least patronizing 1 or 2 of the subjects. So over here, the simplest way I can go by is that, as I did in the previous one, I can just write for this whole circle. Another person can write it this way. 4x minus 6 plus 6, okay? Plus x minus 6 is equal to what? 74. By so doing, this and this will go off. So we'll be having 5x minus 6 is equal to 74. So 5x is equal to 74 plus 6. So if 5x is equal to 80, then x is equal to 80 over 5. And that will give you 16. Okay? As I was saying, another person can decide not to waste his time to write these 6s. He will just write 4x like this. When he writes the 4x, then everything inside the circle shouldn't be written again, because the 4x represents the content of this circle. So 4x plus what? Plus x minus 6 is equal to 74. If you do that also, you are still going to get your x to be what? X is going to be the same figure. So now we've gotten x to be what? X to be, what did we get? To be 16. Now let's see the questions that are following. So if x is 16, then what is NE? I'm talking about number studying English. You know NE is what? 4x, right? The whole of NE is 4x. So if you have got x to be 16, then NE is going to be 4 times 16, and that yields what? 64. It's as simple as ABC and easy as 1, 2, 3. Now, this very question, you see that there is a trickish element in it, which is trying to confuse you. He said that the number of English students exceeds mathematics by 48. That one, it will not come in here. If you joke with it, you'll get confused. So look here. And after we finish, then we shall test whether it is really the case. So we have got 48 over there. Then he says mathematics. So what is mathematics now? So N mathematics is your X. And that is your what? Your 64. Your 16, because that is your X. Now test and see. If you subtract this from 64, you are going to get 48. And that's what he's talking about. So invariably, the NE exceeds this by 16. When we read the linear equations, you understand this in a proper manner. Then he says, only one subject. Only one what? Subject. So here, we should first talk about only English. Only English is what? Is 4x. So, and x is what? 16, right? Minus 6. So it will be 64 minus 6. That gives you what? I think 58 or so. Then, only maths or mathematics is what? Is x, where x is what? So 16 minus 6. And that gives you what? 10. Therefore, only one subject, I normally cut it short, is equal to a 58 plus 10. and that will give you 68. I hope you are following the point I'm making. Just look at the way I solve for x. In solving for x, what did we say? I said that since here is 4x and here is x, I just work it this way. And since you are now getting the background, so I strongly believe you're getting the point. Then, so only one subject is what? It's 64. Only one subject is 64. And what again did he ask? Exactly 2 subjects. Exactly 2 subjects. What is it? Exactly 2 subjects. Exactly 2 subjects is the same as the middle here. Those who did both subjects. That is the same as exactly 2 subjects. Is that okay? So that is, so carefully look at this question. So the 48 over there, sometimes certain questions are given to you. Some questions, you have to look at it. It's not everything in the question that will be useful. Sometimes they use it to trick you. So you have to understand what you are talking about so that you will not be derailed. You will not be swayed by certain questions that will be threatening you. I hope you're getting it. Okay, good. Let us see if we can go to another interesting question. Okay, if you can go to another interesting question, right? So we are moving to example 6. That's what I'm saying. It is problem solving that we are solving. In a marketplace of 65 women, yes, in a marketplace of what? Of 65 women, what happens? Where only yam and plantain are sold. 30 women sold yam, while 40 sold plantain. The number of traders who sold neither yam nor neither yam nor plantain was equal to 50% of the number of traders who sold both items. This question is a little bit trickish. We have to be very, 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 very careful about it. Now, we have indicated that NY, which is number yam, is equal to what? Is equal to 30. Then N what is the product? N plantain, that is NP, is equal to what? NP is equal to 40. Then, he said there are certain people there who sold neither of the items. So we have Y union P. That's how you write it. Complement. It's equal to, he said it's equal to what? 50%. So for us to be able to work, I'm tempted to write something here, but you will not understand until I write something. So let's first, let us be helped by the Venn diagram so that you get the point I'm trying to make. Otherwise, you get confused at this point. And we say that NY is equal to what? 30. Then NP is equal to what? It's equal to 40, right? NP is equal to 40. But here, once again, NU, he says it's what? It's 65. NU is equal to what? 65. Now, he says the number of traders who sold who sold none of them was what? He says something. Was 50% of those who sold both. So if here is both and here is your X, then here becomes 50%. You know 50% is 50 over 100. That's 50%, which is the same as half. It's half of, so here we have 1 over 2x. You can write it this way. Another person can also, because if it's 50%, then here could also be 2 and here becomes 1. But to avoid confusion, 50% of this one is 50 over 100. So 50, when you cancel it, you are going to get 1 over 2. So that is what you are having in your short. Okay? So if that is the case, so you understand how this one comes. Because here, he said it's 50% of those who sold both. So that's what we are having now. Having gotten this information, then here becomes what? 30 minus x, and here becomes what? 40 minus x. So if I want to work it, I have 2 ways of solving this. So here now it's half x, and the intersection is x. So I can work it this way. I can just write this 30. The moment I write the 30, take note of this concept very well. I'll just write 30 plus. Once I write the 30, I'll not write anything inside the 30 circle again. Those left outside the circle, but it's still within the circles, is what? Is 40 minus x. Then plus 1 over 2x is equal to 65. This really becomes something like a linear equation. So here, if I simplify it, it becomes 70. this is 1x and this is minus, plus half x. It becomes minus half x is equal to 65, right? So if I want it more simplified, I can say 70 minus 65 is equal to half x. Remember that when this one crosses the equality sign, it becomes plus. And this one came here, it becomes what? Minus. So invariably, what are we getting? We are getting half x is equal to what? Is equal to 5. Okay? Half x is equal to 5. So one will ask that, why? Sir, why did you bring this one here? It is still positive. When you turn it, let me give you some instance. If I'm having here a is equal to b, I can write it as b is equal to a. Because you turn the whole thing upside down, so the negativity or whatever will not be affected. The signs will be maintained, right? So over here, I just turn this one here, and this one goes here. In fact, here is 5 is equal to half x. But I can move it that way, like this way. So this is what I'm having now. And I can multiply through by 2 so that the 2 goes there. It becomes, here is times 2 times 2. The 2 cancel 2. So I have x is equal to what? 10. The x is equal to 10. But let's see, what question did they ask? So we said, how many traders sold none of the items? So, n none is equal to what? The none is here. Half x. And what is your x? Your x is what? What is the x we got? X is 10. So we have this. So people who sold none of them is 5. Right? Then one question again did they ask? At least one food. At least one food. At least one food. Can I clean here? I hope I can clean here. So at least one food. So to make it easy, a candidate or whoever is working can decide to draw this one quickly like that. Then he will redraw this and he will redraw this. Now, we know x now to be what? The x is equal to what? 10. So the middle here is what? Is 10. So if you know x to be 10, then 30 minus x, that is 30 minus 10 is what? Here is your 20 now. Is that okay? Then this is 40 minus x. And then the x is 10, so it becomes 30. Then half of 10 is what? Is 5. So when they ask us what is the question? He says, at least one food item. At least, the least is one food item. So at least one item or food item. That is one or more. The least is one, so it becomes 20 plus 10 plus 30. And that will give you what? Your 60. At least one food item. Where here is your y, and here is your what? Your p. Then at most one item. What about at most one item? The at most one item is, the highest is one item, so it becomes 0 item. Here is 0, 0, 1, it didn't take part. So 5 plus 20 plus 30. And that will be, I think, 55. Yes, so that is how this one also goes. Yes, now let's look at example 7. And after example 7, then the example 8, I'll give it to you as assignment. You have to try your hands on it and see how best you're going to solve it. It says, in a class of 30 students, the number of students offering only mathematics is equal to the number of students offering only English language. The number of students offering none of the subjects is equal to the number doing both subjects. Asemo. If 20 students study only one subject, how many students offered at most one subject? Now, so straight away, we know we are talking about, he says, let me read it again because it's a little bit. He says that in a class of 30 students, so NU is equal to 30, right? NU is equal to 30. And he says that, let's see, in a class, the number of students studying both subjects is equal to what? So over here, what are we having? He said that here is X, and here is what? N maths. And then we have what? N English. And the number of students studying both subjects is equal to the number of students studying none. So here is also x. But in the question, I think it was made clear that 20 students study what? Only one subject. So if it is 20 and it is only one, then of course here becomes 10 and here is also 10. That's all. Case closed. So how are we going to solve it? So without wasting time, here, if we have to solve, we are going to have 10 plus x plus 10 plus x is equal to what? It's equal to 30. So here becomes 2x plus 20 is equal to 30, right? I think that's how it is supposed to be. So 2x is equal to 30 minus 20. So 2x is equal to 10. Then x is equal to 10 over 2. That gives you 5. So here it is 5. That's what he's saying. So if you want to, if he asks you any at least, at most, whatever it is, and once you know x, once x is equal to what? 5, here is 5, here is 5, here is 10, here is 10. So when he asks you at most, what? At least 10, the least is 10. At least one subject is going to, the least is one subject, what? This plus this plus this, that will give you 25. Then at most also, the highest is, you know, we now know at least and at most. So you say that at least one subject will be what? It will be 10 plus 5 plus 10, and that will be 25. And at most, also, I think it will also produce the same result. Okay, so now we are coming to the end of the two-set problem. So that is example 7 that you saw in your short. So we're going to project the example 8. That one is going to be your assignment. You should try your hands on it. It says that in a sporting competition involving football and athletics, the number of people who participated in only football was equal to 25% of the number participated in athletics, while 30 people engaged in both games. The total number of competitors was 85, with each person taking part. How many competitors participated in one game? Okay, so it is projected in your short. Try your hands on it. Try your hands on it. I believe in the subsequent editions, I may possibly produce the answers for you. That will help you to work it. When you solve it, you are going to get x. You are going to get x football to be 11. Take note. You are going to get football to be 11. So if you don't get 11, then trouble for you. If you don't get, so the football is going to be 11. Then the athletics is going to be what? Because once there's a relationship here, but the point is that the x, when you work it out, you're going to get your x. So it's going to be like this. Follow this sheet quickly before I go. So here I have 1, 2. You're going to have your x here. Here is your 30. Here is your 4x. I'm giving the clue. 4x. Then here your 85. I'm repeating. Here is your 4x. Okay? X, 30, 4x. And then here there's nothing outside it. Try your hand there. And then so you wrap up. So that is for your information. I believe in the subsequent we are moving to 3-set problem. Okay, so that is that. Thank you very much.